Let's, in the last demo for the server-side section, take a look at the included unit tests. In this demo, I'm going to show you how ASP.NET 0 handles unit testing. Now, out of the box in the blank project, there are already quite a few unit tests available. And we can actually look at these unit tests to see how we can then do our own unit tests. We will write our own unit tests, by the way, in the next chapter. So when you collapse the entire solution, you'll find a test solution folder, and in there you'll find phonebook demo tests. That is, of course, the unit testing project. Let's open it and let's take a look at the dependencies. And let's take a look at the NuGet packages that are being used here. This gives away some more information about the unit tests. We can see here that ASP.NET 0 uses XUnit as its unit testing framework. Next, we also see Shouldly, which is an assertion framework. And it also uses the ASP boilerplate test base, which is basically a framework, a testing framework, let's say, to make it easier to do integration testing for ASP.NET 0 projects. Finally, there's also a reference to SQLite, Entity Framework Core SQLite actually. SQLite is being used as an in-memory database here for mocking Entity Framework and database operations. All right, let us now take a look at some of these unit tests. So what is actually being tested? Well, let me open authorization here and then users. And let us now take a look at the user app service delete tests. Of course, the user app service handles all the operations around adding users, deleting users, updating users, and so on. So this is typically something that should be well tested. And as you can see, there's already a long list of unit tests that has been written around this functionality. So what is actually being tested? To be clear, it's typically the app services, so the ones that we'll be writing in the next module. And if you have more complex domain services, well, those will be unit tested as well. And that's exactly what we will see here. Let's take a look at one of these tests. In this test, we are going to delete a user and verify that after the deletion code has run, the user will also be deleted. What I'm doing first is I'm going to create a user, and then I'm going to check whether or not I can find that user. The create test users is actually a separate method that is going to create a set of sample users. So then I check if the user can be found. So that is all still arrange code. Then in the act block, we will do the actual testing. We are going to delete the user with that given ID. Finally, we're going to use the same call again to check if that user is actually now deleted. So let's now run this test. So as you can see here, my unit test, the user app service delete tests, has successfully run.